Please join us in our opening hymn, From This Bright Hour. From this bright hour and days to come, as we have gathered into one, open the gates and the light will shine all around. Let there be light. Wounds of the world begin to heal as peace with justice is made real. Open the gates and the light will shine all around. Let there be light. All are welcome, all invited, with open hearts and open minds. In our living, in our learning, may we always be searching for truth and light. Now is the hour, join in the song, here in this place where we belong. Open the gates and the light will shine all around. Let there be light.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to family worship at First Unitarian Church of Portland, where our mission is to nurture the individual spirit and together to build the beloved community. I'm so glad you're with us this morning. A little bit later in the service, I'm going to invite you to join me in a project to make a gift of the heart for someone. You'll need a piece of paper and something to write with or to draw with. So if you want to get those things now, this would be a good time. And a reminder that this afternoon, you're invited to join in an 8th Principle workshop from 2:30 to 4:30 on Zoom. Learning community parents and caregivers, high school youth, and volunteers are invited to learn and explore the 8th Principle proposal for Unitarian Universalism. You can look for an invitation in your email, and please RSVP by noon today. Once again, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us. Every Sunday in this service, we light a chalice, and our chalice lighters this morning are Debbie Gorenstein, Ann Draper, and Marie Ballard, learning community volunteers who have been working with our 3rd to 5th grade group this year.
We are Unitarian Universalists.
We light this chalice
in faith, in hope, and in love.
Catholic nun and Nobel Peace Prize winner, Mother Teresa, who devoted her life to caring for those who are sick or poor, said, "It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving." Come, let us worship together. Good morning on this first Sunday in February. It's the beginning of a new month and the time when we introduce the new theme that we'll be exploring together. We've brought out the Wonder Box, where something inside awaits to be discovered. So, in the box, let's see what we have. It's a heart. So this beautiful heart is made of carved and polished wood. And this was actually a gift to me, and it fills me with love and gratitude when I look at it and hold it. I feel cared for, and my heart feels full, whole. Wholeness. A heart full of love gives us a sense of wholeness, wholeness that we are complete. Have you ever received a special gift that touched your heart? Have you given a gift from the heart to someone else? Something you thought about very carefully. Maybe it was something you made, something you decided to do for someone. How do you think they felt when you gave it to them? And how did you feel when you gave it to them? I'd like to share a story with you today that's called What is Given from the Heart. It's written by Patricia C. McKissack with illustrations by April Harrison. It was a rough few months for Mama and me. We were already poor, but we got poorer last April when Daddy went to sleep on the front porch and never woke up. Mama cried and cried because Daddy didn't have a suit to be buried in. Come June, we lost the farm and moved to a rundown shotgun house in the Bottoms. On Friday the 13th, it rained frogs, everything flooded, and Smitty, my dog, disappeared. Misery loves company, Mama said, shaking her head as she swept water out the back door. I hugged her up close, the way I always did when she was sad or I was scared. Long as we have our health and strength, we are blessed, James Otis, Mama said, trying to sound brave. But things didn't get any better. We got an early snowfall in November, and Christmas was skimpy, but we made it through to the new year. For I realized February was upon us, with Valentine's Day just 2 weeks away. One Sunday, Reverend Dennis made an announcement during services. Just as we always do, we'll be delivering love boxes to those folks in need in our community, he said. Irene Temple and her little girl have lost everything in a fire. We must add them to our list. Next week, bring whatever you think might be useful to them. Remember, what is given from the heart reaches the heart. James Otis, we need to help out, Mama said on the cold walk home. I came back with, how are we gonna do that, Mama? We ain't got nothing ourselves. Mama kept right on talking. Sister Bunch told me the daughter's name is Sarah. She's 7, 2 years younger than you. You can find a little bit of something for her, don't you think? I wasn't convinced. What do I have that a little girl would want? Now, said Mama, remember what Reverend Dennis said? What is given from the heart reaches the heart. That night, I lay warm and toasty under one of Mama's quilts. Still, it made me tremble to think about fire taking away what little we did have. What can I give Sarah to make up for all that she's lost? I wondered. I considered the blue ribbon I'd won in the school spelling bee. Nah, the award was important to me, but it would mean nothing to her. I looked over at my beautiful sparkling rock, the one I'd found down by the creek. But how would that help Sarah? You can't eat a rock. Unable to come up with anything good, I pulled the covers over my head and I drifted off to sleep. Come morning, I found Mama in the kitchen, busy sewing. I know if we had a fire, I would miss my aprons, Mama explained. So I've decided to make Mrs. Temple one. But Mama, you're using your white tablecloth, the only nice thing you have. James Otis, I'm stitching with a loving heart. My hope is that this apron will give as much joy to Mrs. Temple as the tablecloth has given to me. Mama's smile was a welcome sight. That made me study harder on what I could contribute. Maybe Sarah would like something to play with, like my whistle from Dexter Benson's birthday party. But my spit was all over it. What about my crayons? I drew so many pictures with them, even though the black, pink, and dark blue were missing. No way. I couldn't give her used crayons. And I couldn't give her my pencil that was just a nub and not much eraser left either. As time flew towards Valentine's Day, I fretted more and more. I considered giving Sarah a puzzle. It didn't bother me that 2 pieces were missing, but it might bother her. That wouldn't do. Not even with a bow on it. And neither would my capeless Superman Halloween costume. Then I remembered my book, Things That Roll. Mama had paid 10 cents for it at the resale shop. I read it every night until I'd memorized each word, and then I drew pictures of all the stuff that rolled. Sarah might enjoy my book, I thought, but maybe she didn't like trucks and marbles and such. Still, it got me to thinking. I gathered my crayons, my pencil, and some paper, and I got busy. On the Sunday before Valentine's Day, we were off to church. Along the way, Mama told me, as usual, the trustees will deliver the love boxes to the homes of those in need. But Reverend Dennis has invited the Temples to receive theirs at Olive Chapel so that they can meet the congregation. The church was full. Mama beamed as she carefully placed the apron in the box. When we presented the Temples with their love box, filled with all kinds of clothing, food, tools, and toys, Mrs. Temple was overcome with emotion. The congregation shouted, "Amen." Even so, Sarah seemed sad and afraid. She clung to her mama's arm and she hid her face. I walked over to where they were standing. "Hi, Sarah," I said, sounding cheery-like. "My name is James Otis, and I'm pleased to meet you." "Same to you," she answered, looking at her feet. "Here," I said, handing her my gift. "I wrote it, drew the pictures, and put it together by myself, just for you." Sarah managed a smile as she stared at the book I'd made. Then, real slow-like, she read the cover. "From my heart to your heart" by James Otis Petway. It's about a little girl named Sarah, and "Don't tell me," she said. "I want to read about myself by myself." "I can't believe it," she squealed. "A book about me." Then she covered her mouth to catch a giggle. Seeing little Sarah happy made me happy too. I laughed out loud. "I put some hard words in too, so you can look them up." "You sound like my teacher." Sarah pressed the book to her heart, and she closed her eyes and she whispered, "Thank you, James Otis. I will keep this book forever and ever." Walking home, Mama held my hand. "The Temples looked very grateful," she said. "I think we reached their hearts," I said. Mama nodded. "I'm proud of you, James Otis." "How come?" I asked. "'Cause you're you." In winter, night comes early. The sky was darkening, and it had started to snow. I stuck my tongue out to catch a snowflake as Mama spun joyfully round and round. Suddenly, Mama stopped. "Look, there's something on our porch," she said. I rushed ahead, and there it was. A love box had been delivered to us, and our hearts rejoiced. Our hearts rejoiced.
Today's song is by composer and singer Melanie DeMore. Melanie is a self-described musical activist, and I had the great pleasure of singing with Melanie a couple years ago at First Unitarian Church. All of her songs are meant to sing together, to bring people together. So I invite you to sing along with me when the time comes. One of the lines in this piece is in Hindu, and the line is Om Namah Shivaya. This roughly translates to universal consciousness is one. All one heart, beat as one together. Beat as one this moment. All one heart, beat as one together. Beat as one this moment. All one heart, beat as one together. Beat as one this moment. Om Namah, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. All one song, sing as one together. Sing as one this moment. All one heart, sing as one together. Sing as one this moment.
Earlier in the service, Cassandra talked about the gifts we receive, and especially the gifts we give from the heart. She talked about the special gift that James Otis made for Sarah after her family lost everything in the fire. When we think about the gifts we give and receive, we may think about things that come from a store or online. Those can be wonderful gifts and thoughtful gifts. But there are also wonderful gifts we can give that we make ourselves, or gifts of our time and of our talents. Sometimes those can be the best gifts of all. Let me give you an example from my own life. Some years ago, I got to know a boy in my neighborhood named Noel. We met when Noel was 6 years old and his family had a new dog named Lorenzo. Lorenzo was the same age as my new dog, Lucy. Well, our dogs became friends, and then we humans became friends. Noel and I have birthdays that are close to each other, and a tradition developed that I made Noel an apple pie for his birthday every year. I loved baking pies, and Noel loved eating apple pies. One day, when Noel was 8 or 9 years old, he was asked to write an essay at his school about one of his favorite things, and he decided to write an essay about the apple pies that I made for him. In the essay, he talked about how good the pies were and how much he appreciated them. That essay he wrote meant a lot to me because it was so thoughtful. I felt very honored. Noel was pretty young then, and now Noel is 22 years old and he just graduated from college. But all these years later, I still have that essay because it meant so much to me. It's one of the most thoughtful gifts that I have ever received. I think gifts like the one that Noel gave to me are what I like to call gifts from the heart, because we put ourselves into those gifts in some special way. So this morning, I'd like to invite you to think about the gifts from the heart that you share. It might be something nice you do for someone. It might be making a piece of art or maybe singing a song for someone. It might be surprising someone in some special way. If you have some paper and a marker, I'd like to invite you to make a heart on the paper, kind of like this one that I have here. And then write or draw inside of that heart some special words that you'd like to share with someone as a gift to them. Or maybe it's a way of sharing, remembering a special gift that you've given to someone already. Whatever it is, write down or draw something about a special gift that you've given someone else. We'll take a couple minutes now to do that, and then at the end, I will ring a chime to bring us back. Thanks for joining me today for this meditation and the gifts that you are sharing with others around you.
If nature has made you for a giver, your hands are borne open, and so is your heart. And though there may be times when your hands are empty, your heart is always full. And you can give things out of that. Warm things, kind things, sweet things, help and comfort and laughter, said Frances Hodgson Burnett, who was an author of children's novels. Remember, what is given from the heart reaches the heart. This is the day we have been given. Let us rejoice in it and be glad. Go in peace, practice love. Amen.
Please join us in our closing hymn, This Little Light of Mine.